Good. Senator McConnell said that the House and basically both sides on the head of the possible government shutdown should drop poison pills, should move forward on the clean funding bill to avoid a shutdown. Is he handling this right?
Well, I think what we ought to do is, let's all acknowledge, Chuck Schumer's not going to bring us spending bill up, budget up. I mean, that's reality, right? So if we don't want to have a bunch of earmarks, if we don't want to have a bill that we've never had the opportunity to read, pass, then the only way out of this is a CR through the end of the year and then start the budget process for next year.
So that's not the approach that Senator McConnell is taking. Does that disappoint you?
Well, it's the approach I'm taking. I think it's the only way out of this. I think this idea that we have some big spending bill that nobody has a chance to read with a bunch of earmarks is not what we ought to do.
But they can't even pass a year-long CR in the House. That's why the Speaker's not going that route.
We'll see what they do. I mean, I know the Speaker, has a two-person majority, and clearly what the Senate's doing is not helping him. They're not even talking to him, trying to bring people together. So I think that's making his job more difficult, but I know he's working hard at it.
If you could support a full year CR, then that means you're also supportive of the 1% cut that would take place in April then?
Well, that's what passed the Senate, and that's what passed the House. What I support is doing a budget. What Schumer, by not bringing up the spending bill, supports is a government shutdown and a big omnibus. So I think we ought to have real budgets and go through the real budget. Let's look at the numbers. We've had a less than 2% increase in our population since 2019. The budget's up over 50%. There's probably some savings in there somewhere.
Senator McConnell also has not endorsed Trump yet. Is that a mistake?
I've endorsed Trump. He's going to be our nominee, and he's going to be the next president.
But what about your leader of your conference?
Everybody gets to decide what they want to do. I want a president that's going to secure the border. Trump will do it. I want a president that's going to have a better economy. Trump will do it. I want a president that doesn't like war. Look at what this president's done. Biden's gotten us in two massive and ridiculous wars now because he's weak. He's an appeaser and he's weak. He won't secure the border. The economy's. You look at the numbers. We're losing full-time jobs, right, and part-time jobs. President Biden's done a despicable job for people like my family growing up. I grew up in a poor family. They'd have a hard time right now with the inflation, the job market, all these things.
If Trump is convicted, will you still support him?
Well, I think any of our nominees are going to try to go after for something. So I support Trump.
Even if he's convicted.
Absolutely.
Do you have any reaction to the Alabama Supreme Court's ruling regarding IVF?
Well, first, IVF is legal all across the country. It needs to be legal all across the country. And I support IVF. I've got family members going through IVF. It's a way to build a family. I know a lot of people go through IVF, and it's their opportunity to have a baby. And I think I completely support it.
So would you support legislation then that would federally protect IVF?
Well, I'll look at anything like that. Right now, it's legal all across the country.
Isn't it do you think the Dobbs decision was correct?
Well, yeah,
that was the result of it, right?
These decisions should go back to the state. That was a good decision. States ought to make these decisions. Every state, they'll figure out what fits for their state.
On aid to Ukraine, there was a second anniversary of Russian war already, and the bill to aid Ukraine is not passing. What do you think is the future of this bill?
Well, your heart goes out to what's going to the people of Ukraine. Russia needs to lose. We need to do everything we can to help our Ukrainians win. So I'm going to continue to do the logical things that I can win. I'm disappointed that that Schumer won't bring up a bill that would provide military support. I'm not going to support a bill that's going to provide where Biden gives Biden a whole bunch of humanitarian money that he can give to Hamas and the Palestinian Authority.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.